Welcome back to the TSYS Payments Hub. Today's episode begins a two-part series on what lies ahead for the payments industry. There's so much promising to reshape the landscape this year, so stay tuned for part one on emerging trends in the payment space.
When we look at 2016, a lot's going to continue to happen in payments. I think most important of all, it will remain one of the hottest and most active segments of any industry in the world. So I think what you're going to continue to see is a lot more mergers and acquisitions and partnerships. I think the other thing you'll see is a lot of new product companies bringing ideas and concepts and innovation into the industry, talking to retailers, talking to payments companies, talking to issuers, talking to acquirers. And so I think the options we're going to see in terms of new product ideas, concepts, and tangible solutions will continue to evolve. I think the big themes, and this one is kind of an annual issue, especially in the payment space, is regulation. Regulation is coming at the industry from a lot of different angles. Sometimes it only attacks certain aspects of the industry, i.e. the banking side, where technology companies sometimes are let off a little bit. And so I think it's how that balance is going to work in the future. But I think regulation is going to be a big challenge in 2016 and probably a big challenge going forward. I think the second big theme, at least from my vantage point for the industry as a whole, is really the end-to-end customer experience. The payments industry tends to be focused primarily around that payment experience. But I think what we're seeing now is what actually happens with the end-to-end customer engagement. When they walk in the store, when they go online, when they're interfacing with their mobile phone, how is that entire journey really impacting if the customer is going to buy or not buy? And more importantly, what is the payment instrument they're going to use? So I think from our vantage point at TSYS and probably the industry as a whole, we need to kind of open our lens a little bit broader and look at that entire end-to-end engagement of the customer and then focus on the piece that's relevant for us, but truly understand the other aspects of that end-to-end customer experience. And I think the third biggest theme is probably built around instantaneous everything. The expectations of you and I, and in particular our children, is that we're going to ask for something and it's going to come back right away. And so I think the attention span, the desire, the need, and a lot of things that we've conditioned customers for, especially in the digital age, is really focused on instantaneous everything. And I think the trick is going to be, how can you make the customer feel it's instantaneous, give them immediate satisfaction in the device or the experience they're having, even though some things practically and realistically might be happening in a delayed fashion behind the scenes. So I think that instantaneous, immediate urgency need is probably the third biggest challenge, at least for the industry from my perspective.